Hi Virgo, welcome to September. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space around this reading. So this month, we have a full moon in Pisces, and that's going across your relationship axis, first in the 7th house. And then that's on the 2nd. And then on the 17th of September, we have a new moon in your sign. So this is going to bring some positive new beginnings your way. Then Mars goes retrograde on the 9th of September. So that's a time when we want to step back and reevaluate, recalculate our plans. It's not really a time of pushing forward, pushing your agenda forward, but it is a time of tweaking, the plan, getting all your ducks in a row. And then Jupiter will be moving forward after having been retrograde since I think April. Jupiter's going to be moving forward on the 13th, and then Saturn will move forward on the 29th. And in between all of that, we have the equinox, so there's a lot going on this month. But Mars is going to be the troublemaker because he's going to be squaring Saturn and Pluto. So there's going to be tension in the air this month and probably till the end of the year, till Mars goes direct. While Mars is in Aries, he's going to be moving back and forth over the Capricorn energy. So let's see what the cards say. Oh, and also, since it's September, happy birthday this month, Virgo, if you're celebrating a birthday in September. So what does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for the month of September 2020? This deck is really old. This is the first deck I ever received as a gift when I was 18 years old, when I first started getting into tarot. Before that I was using playing cards, and then I got a real deck. So it's got a lot of years on it, this deck. So what does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for September 2020? What is coming up for Virgo? Let's see, what's the card here? The 9 of Wands. The 4 of Cups. The Hangman. The 5 of Swords. The 3 of Cups. The Ace of Wands. The Knight of Cups. The 3 of Pentacles. The 4 of Swords. The 10 of Swords. The World. So this is interesting, Virgo. So right now, you're going to come into the month feeling, this is a card of dissatisfaction and boredom. Like, I'm not really happy with my current situation, but I'm not sure I want to change it just yet. The Hangman energy is like thinking about making a sacrifice, giving something up for something better, but you're still on the fence about it. You're not like, you know that something needs to be done. You may have felt victimized in the past. You might have felt that you're existing in a toxic environment and you need to make a decision. It could be a relationship, it could be a work environment. The 5 of Swords, someone might be trying to push your buttons, getting you to react. You also have this 3 of Cups energy, so there could be some kind of triangle, third-party situation. And you're trying to figure out how to move from here. But you're not taking action at in the present moment. And if something is even being offered to you, you're not really wanting to accept what's being offered to you. It's almost like, this is not what I really want. I know I need to make a change. I know I need to move to something else, but I'm not getting the right thing. It's like you're waiting for the right offer, or you're waiting for the right relationship. I feel like you're wanting to leave a relationship or leave a situation that's not working. So especially at this full moon in Pisces, you're going to something is going to be revealed at this full moon. Something is coming to completion or culmination. For some of you, you might decide, I need to leave this relationship. I need to move on. It's not going to get better. So I just need to cut my losses and move on. And there could also, with this Three of Cups, if that's happening, there could be some infidelity or some kind of third-party situation. Maybe you've met someone new, or you're just not happy in your current situation, and you have to make a decision. But I feel like right now with the Hangman, everything has been in limbo, and it's possibly because of COVID. But the Hangman is about having to have patience, and you're going to be fine. Things will work out in the end. It's just that right now everything is moving slowly, and it's only going to get slower when Mars starts going retrograde. And then in October we have Mercury retrograde. So these next 2 months are not months for setting things into action, for giving it the big push. You have this Nine of Wands card here. You may feel like you've been battling something for a long time. You've been struggling with something for a long time. And in some ways you feel like giving up. It's like, this is just too hard. I've been working at this and I'm trying to make things work, and it's just nothing's happening. And you're feeling like quitting or giving up. The Nine of Wands is saying, don't give up. You're really close to achieving a goal, but you just have to give it that one more. Keep trying. And sometimes this card comes up when you thought you had solved the situation, like there was some kind of issue that you may have had to defend yourself, and you thought it was resolved, and then it comes back to be dealt with again. So I feel like you're in the process of cutting your losses this month and trying to move on. Here's this Ace of Wands coming up in the future, and the Knight of Cups. So there is a new beginning in the wings. It's just starting to develop, and the Knight of Cups could mean, it could be a romantic proposal. The Ace of Wands could mean a new job opportunity, because I'm seeing Three of Pentacles here, which is usually a card of recognition, promotion. But it's in your negative thinking sector, so you're not, it's like you're doubting that this is possible. You're not, maybe you're coming out of some kind of depression, and you feel like, oh, nothing good ever works out for me, so even though there's a potential for a new opportunity, and it has the potential to give you recognition and success, you're kind of doubting it. It's like you're discouraged, and you're not seeing the bright side. You're just focusing on what's wrong and not focusing on what's right. Also, you have this Four of Swords and the Ten of Swords, so you might have needed to take time out. Maybe you had some type of separation from a relationship, and you need to take time out to think, or time away from each other to figure out, do I really want to be in this relationship? Do I want to be in a new relationship? What do I want? Because the Four of Swords is usually a card of healing, taking time out to heal. You could be recovering from an illness, or having to isolate yourself. And during this time, you're going to be contemplating. In some cases, you may feel that you're done. There's a certain situation in your life, I think you're deciding, I can't give this any more energy. The Ten of Swords is like an ending. It's like, don't go down this path anymore. Like, the path is ended. So if you're on the fence about, should I stay or should I go, you may decide, I need to cut my losses and move on. But, the universe is funny this way. Sometimes we hold on to something that we know we really need to let go of. It's just not working, but we keep hanging in there thinking maybe something will change and things will get better. When you get to the Ten of Swords, you're done. It's like, you know what, I've tried everything. I can't make anything work. I need to just admit that this is not going to work, and I need to leave. I need to create a new path. And here's this new path, this Ace of Wands and the Knight of Cups. Now, the Ace of Wands is a time card that usually relates to March, April, May. So if nothing happens in September, it's possible that things could start in the spring. And I think with the way I'm looking at the astrology, that makes more sense than, because I don't think anything, it's going to be really difficult to get anything off the ground when Mars is retrograde. And Mars is going to be retrograde from September 9th till November 13th. So these next 2 months are really not a time to push your agenda forward. It's more a time of wrapping up and planning for when the weather changes, you know. So you could be completing something at this full moon. But then you have the world here, and that's another sign of something coming to completion. Something that has been taking up a lot of your time, maybe ending this month. But it's freeing you to have a new beginning. So I feel like the new beginning can be a career success, a new job that leads to recognition and success, even though you're doubting it. But it can also be new love, because the Knight is a proposal. It's a romantic proposal. You could be connecting with someone that you feel, a sense of karmic, like a karmic tie or something. Like I don't know why I feel the way I do about this person, but I just feel like I need to be with this person, kind of thing. That kind of energy. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So you have the full moon in Pisces in your 7th house. That's the house of partnership, committed partnerships. And the sun is in the 1st house in Virgo. So a relationship issue is coming to completion. Either you decide to leave, because you have Uranus in the 9th house. Uranus in the 9th house has to do with long distance travel. You could be moving. You could be deciding to go back to school, get more training. You could be teaching, learning. There's changes going on with Uranus in the 9th house. Whatever you're doing, if you're changing your residence, if you're moving, it's going to be a positive thing. It may be sudden. It may be a sudden thing, like I have to move. Or I have to go back to school. I have to take this training. Or I have to, Or you could be connecting with someone from a foreign country. Or someone who's from a different culture. Your ruling planet Mercury is in Virgo, so it's very strong right now. So this is a time of communication. It's in your 1st house. I feel like you need to communicate a message to someone. You have Venus in the 11th house. Now that usually, the 11th house is the house of hopes. So there could be, if there's a relationship that's forming, it could come through the groups that you belong to or your friendships. So a friendship could turn to love. Venus is squaring Mars this month, so you want to be careful. If you're getting out of a relationship, you might be tempted to just jump into another one based on sexual chemistry, but there may not be a lot of compatibility. It might just be, a transitional relationship. You have a lot of heavy energy going through your 5th house, which is the house of children. You have a lot of responsibilities around children. It's also the house of romance and fun and sex, but you got Saturn there. So Saturn is like, you feel blocked. Like, I can't have fun. I'm too busy working, or Pluto is there. There's power struggles involving children or authority figures. Neptune's going through the 7th house. So you want to be careful. And it's been there for a while. Neptune, takes like 12, 14 years to get through a sign. So it's just warning you about not to idealize your relationships, to look at them realistically. Don't say, I met this person and they're a diamond in the rough. I'm going to change them and they're going to become, this beautiful, my knight in shining armor or my maiden. There's a big danger of doing that, of saving someone or rescuing someone. When you feel like, that you could be like not seeing someone in a realistic light. But I feel like at this full moon you're going to see the truth, because full moons usually shine a light on things. So you're going to see, if you've been sweeping things under the rug, you may finally start to see reality at this full moon, and then it might involve you having to make a change or having to give up on something. Now Mercury is trining Saturn. So you could have a message. You could reach out to someone. You could feel like you want to connect with someone in a romantic way. And it could be, if it has to do with Saturn, it could be someone where there's an age difference, or you're ready to get more serious about, maybe have to have a serious decision to make around children or around a relationship. This is not going to be a warm and fuzzy month around this full moon, because Venus is opposing Saturn. And you have Venus in the 11th house and Saturn in the 5th. So you may feel cut off from your children, or you may feel cut off from friends and loved ones. Maybe they're, it's just like a cold energy. The other way that Venus is opposite Saturn could operate is that you're seeing the truth. Saturn shows us the reality. So you might be seeing the truth about friends, seeing the truth about romance, seeing the truth about any kind of sexually liaison, or and it's kind of like it takes the joy out of things, because the reality is like smacking you in the head. And Mars being in Aries, where's Mars in your chart? Mars is in the 8th house. So yeah, there could be some tension around finances. Maybe money that you were depending on from your partner. Maybe there might be some conflict about that, because the 8th house represents a partner's income. The 8th house also represents, confronting your demons, confronting the dark side, confronting your fears of intimacy. So there could be some issues around intimacy going deep that interfere with, any kind of relationship that you're trying to start. So you may have to look into that. Then we have the new moon on the 17th, and that is in your first house. And it is... Now, the good thing about this new moon in Virgo, we've been getting hit heavy by the Capricorn energy, but this new moon is trining Saturn and Pluto, and it's in your 5th house. So that's why I'm feeling that if you're in a relationship that's not working, you could be leaving it and then forming a new relationship that is going to work, because Saturn brings longevity. You still have to do the work, but this new moon it's a good time for a new beginning. So for some of you, it could mean a new beginning in a current relationship. You decide, okay, let's start over, let's try and make it work this time. Or it could mean you're cutting your losses and then you meet someone new, or you decide to focus your energy on a new person or a new relationship. There's you have Venus in the 12th house. So you could be, because Venus is going to be moving from the 11th house into the 12th house in Leo, you could have a secret love, or you could have a love, you're not sharing your feelings. You're keeping your feelings private. And then Uranus is in the 9th house. You could have a crush on someone, or you could have feelings for someone that you can't express for some reason. When Venus squares Uranus, there could be sudden developments. Things can pop up. You can have, run into someone, all of a sudden sparks are flying. But Uranus doesn't bring stability. Usually it's very exciting but there's no guarantee it's going to last. But because you have Saturn there in the 7th house, in the 5th house, there is, if you're willing to take responsibility and you're willing to do the work and you're willing to commit to the relationship, you could make it last. I mean, it'll be exciting, but it'll also be something that you're building stability into. So this is a month of, you could have a new relationship this month if you're in a relationship that's not working and you decided to leave. There could be a new beginning coming that's going to bring you greater happiness and romance and fun. You may be coming out of a heavy scene where you were struggling, and you're just your energy is done. I have no more energy to put towards this thing, and I'm looking for something fresh and new. I need a new start. I need a new beginning. And you could get that this month after the new moon in Virgo. So keep your eye on this World card. This is everything coming together, everything working out. You walking away from finally not giving your energy to something that's not working, that's never going to work. and then focusing on a new beginning. So that can happen for you, Virgo. So don't worry that if things feel stuck or stagnant, it's not going to be forever. So don't give up on your dream or your goals. But don't waste your energy on something that is just draining you and it's not ever going to work. You know, you have to make a decision. You may have to cut your losses and move on to something better. So this is my forecast for September. Virgo, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. And if you want a private reading that deals with your specific situation in depth and in greater detail, click on the link in the description box and you can order a reading and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, I want to say thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for commenting. If you're new, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Have a wonderful September. Happy birthday, and I'll talk to you next month. Okay, bye now.